Hi everybody, this is Stacy with All My Magical Things. How are you today? Welcome back if you've been here before, and welcome if you're new here. I'm Stacy and I like to creative commonplace in my Creative Commonplace book. I like to journal in my Creative Commonplace book. And by commonplacing, my definition is collecting wisdom. And it's other people's wisdom, whether I've read it, seen it, heard it, anywhere that something catches my eye and I know I need to remember that because it's good for me. And I do that in a composition notebook. Um, just a plain composition notebook that I have covered in stickers. And the creative part is I use recycled greeting cards and stickers and paper and trim and charms and paint and my own artwork and magazine clippings and whatever I feel like goes along with the page and makes it creative and exciting. And last video we did this Speak Life, and this is a magazine cutout, and usually I use magazine words like on this page, but I also have images that I like, and summer is my favorite, and this reminded me of summer, and so we wrote the wisdom on there last time. And so today, oh, and we did a little charm with a bulb pin. I've seen other people do that, so I thought that was cool. And so, yeah, I go around my stash and I collect things that I think might go on the page and work with the wisdom and make it interesting. And so I want to go back and flip through it. And we're getting so close to finishing this journal, guys. I can't wait. I can't wait because starting a new journal, I don't know about you, but for me, starting a new journal is so much fun. Now, before we get into all of the journaling, I do have an announcement about a giveaway. We hit 300 subscribers a little while back. I think we're at 311, 312 something right now, which is completely mind-blowing to me. And I am so grateful to you guys. Like, thank you so much for subscribing. But yeah, I want to do a giveaway, and I promise that today, this is Tuesday, the 23rd of June, that I would talk to you guys about the giveaway. So let's move this out of the way for right now, because I want to show you the things I've been collecting for our giveaway. If I can gather them all up without dropping them. So I've been going through my stash and grabbing bits and pieces to put in the giveaway. And I thought I'd show you some of that, and then we'll go over like how you enter and all the things. So let's see. I've got some trims here like sari silk and some pretty lace, some pom-poms, some glittery rickrack. And then I have some fabric scraps. In my journal, I like to make tabs and use fabric. So I thought I would include bits and pieces of my fabric scraps. And these are squares cut from vintage sheets. I made a quilt out of vintage sheets, and I thought I had some extra squares, so I thought I would include those. Here are some more fabric scraps, and I include a bulb pin and one of the little acrylic charms like we put on the journal, and that's in there. And then I have bits and pieces of die cuts that I just grabbed out of my stash. There's some magazine words. I was trying to, I'm just grabbing things that I use and thought maybe be interesting to you guys. Here's some washi tape sample that I just wrapped around a clothing tag. Here's some circles that I've cut out from painty papers, and page tabs. You fold them and they're cut out from painty papers also. There's a couple tags. There's this is from a vintage game, or I don't know if it's vintage, but some kind of game pieces. Another watercolor like painty paper. There's some frames and little word die cuts in there. Here's an envelope that I'm not sure where it came from, but it was in my stash. Here's a vellum quote, since, you know, that's what I do is collect wisdom. Here's some vintage stickers and a few vintage playing cards. Thought those would be neat. This is a book plate, like if you make an junk journal or something and you want to put your name in it. Here is a vintage heart doily. Here are some stickers I've pulled out of some of my little sticker books, some labels. There's some journaling cards in here, like Project Life cards, I think they're called. There's a paper doilies. There's some paint chips. I like using those. These are craft essential card embellishments, and they have different words on them, and they're like sticky. They're vintage, so I don't know if those stickies will still work. Here's some flowers that I grabbed from my stash. These are just little cards. I don't know. I have a bunch of them. I'm sure you guys can come up with something to do with those. Here's a sheet of stickers. Here's a sheet of vintage Betty Boop stickers, and there's Winnie the Pooh stickers. Here is some kids' flashcards. Here's some vintage index cards. They've got a lot of nice aging on them if you like the vintage look. Some vintage recipe cards. Here's some they're sticky labels, a sheet of those. One of my while you're out message from Message Pad. This is a game piece, game sheet from a game. Some of these, oh, here's some of those Post-it notes. I had used that recently. And then these are from vintage notepads. Almost lost my words again. This is a piece of vintage wrapping paper. Here's some more papers for my notepads. I think I used that in my one page. This is a scrap from Painty Papers. This is notepad with Mickey Mouse. Here's a postcard. I don't know. I'm assuming it's vintage. I don't see a year on it. No, I don't see a year on it. But there's a postcard. Here's some more note papers. Here is those sticky bottle labels that I had used on a page. They stick. There's a few of those in there. Here's a Post-it note from my strawberry shortcake and a piece of scrapbook paper. Here is a giant chocolate chip cookie notepad. And here's some more stickers that I had in a pack. And some stickers from my Happy Planner sticker books, sheet of those. This is like a pack of certificate things for kids. I threw one of those in there. Some vintage giant flashcards. Here's another postcard. It comes in a book, American Girl. So I thought that was cute. Some more note paper. Here's a brown bag with a handle. That might be cute as a page in a journal or something. A vintage envelope with some vintage marks on it. Here's a few watercolor paper. It's very cheap watercolor paper. I found that out the hard way, but you can still make some pretty cool things on it. Another game sheet from a game. Here's a kitty cat note paper. This is like a card with a margarita on it. Here is Pink Panther notebook paper. I love that. Here's a vintage postulette. Another piece of vintage stationery. Another piece of a vintage postulette. Here's an invoice from an invoice book. Here's some of that colorful tissue paper that I've used in my journal. This is just like a ledger card. I'm not sure. I have a pack of those that I had found at a estate sale. Another piece of scrapbook paper. This is a transparency. They were big sheets and I had cut them down and used them in a junk journal. So I put a piece of that. Some more vintage wrapping paper. some offcuts of some scrapbook paper. I'm sure if you've watched any of my videos, you recognize those butterfly paper because I think I've used that a couple times in my journal. A piece of vintage music paper, another piece of vintage wrapping paper. This is from a graph page. These are like borders, edge borders or whatever. So I put a couple of those in there. These are more edge borders, like they come apart. There's a couple of those. Here's a piece of printer paper with a piece of hair on it. Has a cute butterfly. Here's another piece of like scrapbook paper. And then like this is also scrapbook paper as a map. And so that's what I have so far in the package. I'm sure as I keep looking, I'm going to have more. But I thought I would give you guys a look into what I was gathering so you know if you sign up what you're getting into. Now, I'm going to use this video to comment. The comment first you need to have liked the video, subscribe to the channel, and then comment the answer to the question I'm going to ask, and that will get you entered. And today is Tuesday, June 23rd. I think, let's see, what would the date be? I think we're going to run till like June 30th. That's a week. And then July 1st, I will announce we'll draw the winner, and I'll announce the winner, and I'll draw it on video. And we'll go from there. So I hope you guys are excited. I hope I've got some good stuff for you. Let's move that out of the way, and we'll bring the journal back in. And yeah, I will, towards the end of the video, I will give you the question that you have to comment on to be entered after you've liked and subscribed and all the things, you know, all the things we have to say. Okay, so today's wisdom is, I've seen it on Pinterest. The name for the author is @CallToLeap. And I'm assuming that's Instagram, I'm not sure, but I'm assuming that's what it is. Okay, so the wisdom for today is, every day gives us two choices. You can see problems or possibilities. You can complain or be grateful. You can live in fear or live in faith. The difference between a heavy heart and a peaceful one is perspective. Gratitude and joy aren't feelings. They are decisions, so choose them and your life changes. So that's our wisdom for today. And so we'll go over supplies. I have this really cool butterfly trim, you guys. I had used, I think this is a Pizza Hut pizza box that I had cut up into squares, and I've wrapped my loose trims around. And so yeah, the white is on there, but I would like to use this blue butterfly one today. So that's something I'd like to put on the journal. I have this book that somebody had gotten me at Ollie's. It's a discount store in my area. I don't know if you guys have one, but it's called Paper Pattern Play, and I've had it for a few years. And it's just got all kinds of paper in it to rip out and use. So I went through that today, and I picked out this piece of paper. So this is going to be our background for today. And then, oh gosh, guys, I'm stuck on these girls. Please don't laugh at this one. I think she's adorable and wonky and a little silly. But this is the girl today that I'm going to use. I don't know. Don't ask. Don't ask about her hair. I just love her. And then I have some Happy Planner sticker books that I think might go. I've got 3 of them today. I had somebody ask if I would do a video about my collection of Happy Planner sticker books, and so that's going to be coming up, and if you're interested in that, let me know. But anyways, I was going through this, and I decided, I already wrote the quote for this sticker. It's a big long one. I'm going to use that today on the page. I've already wrote our wisdom down. So we're going to use that today for our wisdom. And then I have some die cuts. This one says dream big, be willing to try. Here's a tab top that maybe we'll use. This one says be joyful. And then we have she designed a life she loved. So I thought maybe we could use those. And then I have a couple other Happy Planner books. I'm thinking I want to use the alphas in this one for the title. We've used these alphas before, and I was thinking about using these blue ones today. And then this one, Happy Quotes. So it's got all kinds of quotes and things in here, but they have these word strip. And so I'm thinking there's some of those that we may be able to use today. And so, yeah, that's what I got. Oh, and I used a pink Sharpie to write that quote down. So that's what we got going on today. We're going to see how it goes. So the first thing we got to do is put our background on. That almost completely fits. Yay, yay, yay. I think I'm going to use a glue stick. I think a glue stick might hold it down. So yeah, I cannot believe there are over 300 of you that watch my videos. I'm really blown away, and I'll probably never stop saying that. Probably not. But I really thank you guys. You guys, your comments have been just amazing and so sweet and kind, and I look forward to reading them and responding back. And the crafting community is such a kind, welcoming community. I'm grateful for that also. I guess I better put a little more on here. It's always the edges that the more stuff the book gets in it, the more it humps in the middle. I mean, it's not super thick, but it's getting there. Okay, there's our background. Now, what I'm thinking, I'm going to cut her out. You guys, you don't know how much I debated. I'm like, I'm not putting this one on there. I'm not going to do it. And then this morning, I came up here to my craft space to get ready. I had all my supplies picked out for, the giveaway. And I was going to come up here and get ready to film that video. And I knew what wisdom I was going to use. And I started looking through my stash, and she was sitting on my desk, on the side of my desk. And I was like, no, you are between me and you. I'm not showing this to anyone. And she kept staring at me. And the more I started to collect things to do the video, the more she stared at me. And so finally I was like, okay, you know what? I spent the time to draw you, and I spent the time to color you out and color you. And like, what do I always say? This is to have fun, to enjoy yourself, to take a little time for you and relax and do what you love. It's not about perfection. It's about the process. And so here's what the end result of my process was. Okay. Let's see. I want to put her on there. And then we have the quote. And I like the title of that sticker. It's Ideas. Okay, so I want to stick, whoops, watch out, honey. We want to stick that down. There's our quote. And then I think we'll stick her down. Let's grab our handy dandy Dollar Tree cutting mat. It's starting to sound like Blue's Clues. That's funny. I introduced my 3-year-old granddaughters to Blue's Clues, but like the original Blue's Clues with Steve, that's what my youngest daughter, that's what she used to watch when she was little. And they love it. They love it. And so yeah, I've got Blue's Clues references stuck in my head lately. Okay, she was drawn on that like mixed media or watercolor paper, so she's kind of thick. I don't know if I'm going to have to use double-sided tape to keep her on. Time will tell. Okay, girlfriend. There we go. All right, and I want to use these stickers for the title, and I think it says every day gives you 2 choices. So I think our title is just going to be choices. So we're going to do that. Choices. Let's make sure I'll spell it right. C-H-O-I. Why does that not look right? C-H-O-I-C. E. I guess it's starting to look right now. Guess it can't look right until you get the whole word on there, Stace. So I guess the question to comment on to enter in the giveaway, I was thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it, and I was thinking about like what do we talk about on this channel, and it's a lot about positivity and such. I think I want to stick that right there. So my question for you guys to comment on the giveaway is what are your things that you do to stop the self-talk that isn't as helpful, and to bring in the self-talk that is helpful, that is positive, that remind you who you are and that you are worthy. Like, I know, like, for me, this journaling the wisdom, that definitely helps me. Just creating helps get me out of a bad state of mind, and usually makes me get out of my rut. And so I'm just curious, what do you guys do to combat that negative self-talk? I guess that's the question. What do you guys do to combat negative self-talk? And if you don't have negative self-talk, if you've grown and enough that you don't deal with that anymore, well, that's congratulations, and let us know how you go about all of that. How do you combat the negative days, the hard days? What do you do? What do you tell yourself? I do morning devotions, journaling. That's another practice I do. I wish I could say meditation, but I've tried meditation, guys. I can't sit and breathe and just sit and breathe. I'm not good at it. Okay, now I may have made too many. Oh, that's going to hang right over that. What do? I really wanted to use these butterflies. We're just going to stick them right there. Yes, we are. They're going to dangle off the side. So yeah, that's the question. What do you do to combat your negative self-talk and change it into that positive mindset? Like we talked about the other day, life is only as good as your mindset. A negative mind will never give you a positive life. And we weren't talking about negative or about toxic positivity where everything's fine, everything's fine. No, there are hard days. And it's okay to say there are hard days. We all go through them. But how you think about yourself and how you talk to yourself, that's the positivity that I've been talking about. So yeah, just leave a comment down below. Let me know your ways of battling the negative self-talk. And make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe. And I think I mentioned it in another video when I was talking about doing the giveaway. Your subscriptions have to be public in order to see that you've subscribed. I didn't know that was a thing. Like I said in the other video, my subscriptions are private, and I guess I'm going to change that also. So yeah, make sure you can see that you are a subscriber. Okay, where did I put the pin? There it is. I'm always freaking out with this, like, oh, you got to put the pin back in. Hurry, hurry, hurry. All right, look at that, guys. We got the butterflies. Those are so cute. They're going to be a pain in the butt, I know, but they look really cute. Let's see how they look this way. Yeah, they're adorable. Okay, we got the danglies. Now, I put that on. Be willing to try. That is something I have to keep reminding myself. You gotta try, Stace. Instead of saying, nope, that's not for me. I can't do it. You gotta try. And I think it's got the hanger. So let's make a little dot. Like a little nail is hanging there. It's hanging on a nail. Yeah, so I'm excited to pull the name and send the giveaway. It's very exciting. Okay. She designed a life she loved. That's what I'm going for. Oh, I wasn't gonna bring this up. You know, if you've been watching my channel anytime for any length of time, you know I've had some health issues and I had a rough patch for a while, and I have to tell you guys, today it's been a year. It's been a year since my major digestive surgery that I had to have. I have a chronic genetic illness, and it was my fifth digestive surgery since I was 18. This was my fifth one. And so I'm not a stranger to them, but this one was hard. It didn't go how it was supposed to go, and it took me out for quite some time. And yeah, and so today's a year, and I'm very grateful that I made it through and all of that. I have a lot of PTSD from it, which sounds ridiculous because it is my 5th surgery. I'm 54 years old. I've been doing this since I was 18, dealing, and this one really messed me up. I lost 60 to 70 pounds in 29 days. And that's just a small part of it. Like it was rough. It was rough. And I just need to be thankful that it's been a year. I'm good. I'm almost all the way back to myself. And I'm catching up all the time I lost with my grandbabies. And yeah, all the things. Okay. I like that. I like the butterflies. Now, I was thinking, after I pulled that off, I seen these, and I was thinking I was going to put, like, around her head, like, the choices, like, possibilities, gratefulness, faith, peaceful, gratitude, and joy, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that now. What do you guys think? Can put that one there. Okay, let's start writing. Let's start writing those in. Okay, so possibilities. Possibilities, faith, gratitude, and put one more down here. Gratitude, faith, peace. Peace. And we need joy. That's okay. Oh, we have gratitude right there. And joy up here. But that's okay. It gives us a little more something on there. Okay, I don't know if there's anything else small enough. Let me look at these words again. We did gratitude. Radiate positive vibes. That's a good one. Whoops. We can put that right up there. You got this. Because we got it. We know we got it, right, guys? You got this. Be brave, but that's not really the color I wanted. Let's see, what other colors do we have? Sprinkle a little happy today. Love this life. Plan a happy life. Give yourself a little pep talk. That's good advice for this. I have to cut down the edges. Okay, where are you gonna go? Right there. Right there. Keep life simple. Make yourself proud. I love how I just peel them off before I even decide where I'm going to put them. I'm like, I'm going to make it fit. I'm just going to make it fit. There we go. Make yourself proud. All right, guys. I don't know. I kind of wanted like some little stars or hearts or something. I may have picked out the wrong books for that. Well, these are cute. These little asterisks, is that what they're called? We'll put a couple of those on there. Give it a little more, give it a little sparkle. Oh, if I can peel them up. Give us a little sparkle. So yeah, don't forget, guys. Comment, like, subscribe, and comment to be entered in the giveaway. Let me know. Let me know how you combat your negative self-talk. How you've learned to keep that at bay. Oh, I like these gold check marks. Can we check these off? Like she's checking them off in her head. What do you think? Check. Check. And it'll go till the end of July. And then we will have the drawing on July 1st. We'll do the drawing. And we'll, or the end of June. I'm sorry. We'll go to the giveaway, entering the giveaway will go till the end of June. I'll get it right, Stace. And then we will have the drawing July 1st. And we'll find out the winner, and then I will be mailing out the thing. Oh, and I hate saying this, but I'm not even sure how much it costs to send internationally. So I think you have to be in the US for me to be able to do this for this one. I promise I will figure out if we have any more giveaways in the future, how to ship internationally and go about that. I've just heard it's really expensive, and I don't know that I'm prepared to do that right now, and which breaks my heart because that's not fair. I know I have international subscribers, but yeah, it's for the US only for right now. I apologize for that. And the drawing, the entering will end the end of June, and the drawing will be on July 1st. All right, guys, I hope you like our page. Let's stick a date on it. What is, oh, the 23rd. 6, 23, 26. A year in. All right, guys, I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.